What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Before we proceed, please understand that this, my friends, is not financial advice. You are more than free to do whatever you like with your money, and so am I. And that being said, let's grab a sip of coffee from my Casper Maxi mug. Everything, guys, definitely everything tastes better with Casper. Today we're about to do the same thing we do every day. First, we'll look at market performance for the past 24 hours. I know I shouldn't be laughing about it, but it's so funny because people sometimes want to get into investment that they don't understand. At the end of it, if you get into investment by chasing the price, which I always call green candle chasing, you get hurt. But if you get in an investment because you believe in what it will do on the in the short-term prices and also in the long-term prices, you will be rejoicing about it. That's the whole situation. Everybody wants a Lambo tonight. They forget, hey, you have to learn how to crawl before you start running, right? But anyways, right after that, we will check out prices in details. And after that, we will check on our positions. Are we buying Lambos yet? But before that, we've been at it on this channel. I've been trying to redirect people. Hey, I'm not your financial advisor, right? But I've been trying to redirect people to take a look at things, to look at things out of the box. Get out of the box for a second and look at it, or get out of the frame to appreciate that picture much more clearly. If you don't, you are going to miss out. Seriously, you will. Because right now, everybody's busy looking at one particular direction when the main problem or the main cause that will lead this generational wealth transfer is right under your nose, right? Everybody's talking about, the US dollar collapsing and blah, 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 going down and all that stuff. You forget one thing. It's not that the US dollar is collapsing. It's that the strategy that US government is using has changed. It has completely changed. That's why from the get-go, I told you guys, the rate cuts are not going to be the same. The rate cuts, they are not going to have the same effect like they had before. If you had followed that rabbit hole, you would have figured out a lot of things. A lot of things, like, first of all, the US have figured out that, listen, it cannot be beneficial for our own country, okay, to just be a consuming country, not producing anything. Not producing anything in the sense of that everything that we need, or let's just say 90% of everything that the US citizens need, okay, comes from outside the US. It cannot happen. That is the reason why China became a powerful economy. Why? Because they were producing things in mass production, and they were just shipping them. They were just shipping them into the America. Because guess what? If you go look at it, America is the biggest consumer in the world. Not just Chinese good, everything. In everything. And another thing you will notice, okay, although we know our ways of life are different, the US was busy trying to be like, free economy, free commerce, free commerce. You could come into the US and conduct business and there's no problem on that. But in other countries like China, for example, there's no free commerce. Everything is owned by the government. Everything is getting subsidized by the government. Therefore, any company in the Chinese any company in China, the government owns a percentage of it. Do you see? So when the US realized that is when the trade war started. That's when Trump was like, nah, it cannot happen like that. We need to bring manufacturing back into the US. We can't do this. Now we need to bring, more jobs into the US. How are you bringing more jobs into the US? First of all, you have to make sure that all these factories are running, the farms are going, this and that is going. That's why when you look at stuff like that, the US is the most powerful country in the world. But when you start looking at things like that, the US is 10,000 light years behind China. That is the thing. So now we came to a situation in which, first, when the trade war started, every country that held US bonds started selling them. The two major ones, although you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys already know this, the two biggest country that hold US Treasury bonds are Japan, which is the first one, the biggest one, and then China. Therefore, they started dumping those treasuries. When they started dumping it, the hope was like they would make Trump go back to his words. But one thing is for sure is that not only Trump, if somebody like me who is sitting here or have already figured it out, and I don't have a team that looks at economy for me, imagine what Trumpicius Margex has in front of him on his table. See? So yeah, the trade war started, and everybody and their grandmama was like, yeah, you know, when QE comes in, they're going to do the rates and they're going to print money and all that stuff. And time after time, I kept telling you, you've got to look at something. Those bonds. The government has been buying those bonds. With what money? I'm pretty sure it's not taxpayer money. It's not that. And people was like, yeah, they're going to do this. Dude, listen, we're having a problem that the US debt is rising because we always print money and borrow against it. It's rising, and people like, yeah, and I keep saying it, you cannot, they are not going to play that game. You are not paying attention. You are not looking in the right place. The whole world is already complaining that we keep printing money and devaluating their holdings, and at the same time creating inflation, and everybody was not paying attention to it. I said, guys, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to happen because the US, listen, on the international table, the dollar is already losing strength. And how can we get that strength back? The only way we can get it back is one, pump up manufacturing. We need to be a producing country. We need to produce something to give to the world and all that stuff. And on top of that, we also have the situation going on the other side of the earth, which like now, hey, Trumpicius is saying those rare earth minerals, we need to produce them ourselves, because those rare earth minerals used by the military, by the computers, or whatever they use them for, China is the one producing it, okay? And China being the one producing it, every time they say we are going to stop it, that is almost essentially like holding US by the balls. So yeah, the US like, nah, we are not doing that. We have to start producing, and we have to introduce that model in which these big companies that are important to the world, we have to get a stake into those companies. As a matter of fact, the Trump administration has started buying stocks of those related companies. See, I told you it was going to happen anytime. Therefore, when you look at it and you see people talking about, oh, 2026, that's when this and that's, nah, the government does not have that long. They don't. As a matter of fact, you see how the crypto market is now like kind of trying to balance itself, because macroeconomy is trying to find a way to coexist. Now the government owns part of the S&P 500 and many more companies. You know what? Let me show you something right quick. Let me show you this. See, these are the companies that the U.S. government. The list is so long. I just only took a screenshot of the first 6. You guys do remember, right? Intel. They now own Intel. They now own MP Materials. This is a company that produces rare earth minerals, okay? Because like I said, they are trying to get away from depending on other countries like China when it comes to rare earth minerals, okay? You look at that, and you look at, you remember Lithium America, okay? Lithium America is a big company in the electric cars and stuff like that. They now own it. So things are changing. Those are steel in Japan. Okay, the steel company, they now own some of that too. So yeah, everything is changing because the way Trump saw the things, how things are. And you will sit there and ask yourself, okay, the US is trying to strategically stand themselves among the wars in the world's market. What does that concern me? And that's when you are wrong. Because again, wealth is shifting. Wealth is shifting from one hand to another. Those big people, the rich folks that used to depend on having deals with China and then coming to the US and just blah, 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 and that's it. Now it's shifting. You've now got to start looking at, okay, what's the next step? Next step coming on something that we've talked about here, and we've talked about here so many times, which is those bonds, those treasury bonds getting pegged to the crypto markets. Not just crypto market, stable coins. As a matter of fact, if you go look, you are going to see that big companies that provide stable coins like Circle, owner of USDC, and then you also have USDT Tether. USDT, because it has a problem with the US, they had to produce a new stable coin. Okay? Those companies, they have been eating up US treasuries like they were going out of style. And that's the reason why yours truly, I'm also buying US treasuries. Because yeah, there is a probability that it might not work. Yes. Again, don't invest money you are not willing to lose. But the probability of it going the other way, which is going up to that moon, that those green candles everybody chase every time, the probability is even higher. You understand? So now let's say the peg them. I've explained it here so many times. Why is it important to be pegged? Why is that pegging US treasuries to stable coins important? And that's something that every other country, their analysts, they have also begun to look at. Hey, like I said, I don't have a degree in economy. I'm only a process engineer. But if I can figure it out, imagine those with economists, with a whole team. They know exactly where this is going. So everybody who is busy crying about the US economy, crying about the US debt, trust me, they are going to take it out. And we already know, once the Dixie starts to climb, starts to go up, what usually happens to Bitcoin? Down we went. Again, what is happening this November? ISO 20022 goes live. Compliance, which means now the banks can use stable coins. Stable coins which are pegged to US treasuries. And the US treasury is getting pegged to that. What happened to Dixie? Up it went. And once Dixie goes up, what happens to Bitcoin? Long way down we go. So it's a relationship which most people will not see until it's late. Now, again, you ask yourself, how does that affect me? And I keep saying, this is where generational wealth changes from one hand into another one. Stable coins, for example. Instead of you going to hold on to a bunch of stable coins, guess what? Hold the main tree that produces the stable coins. That uses the stable coins, sorry. Okay? For example, banking system, quant. Because once this bank starts to use stable coins, they are going to need the quant over ledger. And for them to use the quant over ledger, they are going to need to hold quant. See? Everything is tight, one after the other. And the more quant they hold, because it's going to be in the basis like, you know what, I want to use $50 billion worth of stable coins. They're going to go buy the US treasuries, which will pump the Dixie up. Now, I need to use it this much of the quant over ledger. They need to buy exact amount of quant. Bam, and that's going to do what to the quant price? Up. It's going to go. It's a matter of time. It's not of if, it's a matter of when. So if you know how to catch that right now, that's why I keep saying, do not look at prices. Start looking at what these things are going to do. Of course, there is a risk. That's the point where you come in and you start to realize, okay, this is how much risk I can handle, and this is how much risk I cannot handle. Somebody like me, again, I'm not your financial advisor. I am buying quant, not just for a short term. I am buying quant because I know sometime as the years go by, quant is going to become the new normal. In this short term, yeah, you might see quant go above this all-time high and do good, which is good. That's why I have a leverage position on it. But let's just say by the time the next bull run comes, I'm not surprised to see Quant at 10 grand or even 20 grand, because by then everything will be established. Everything will be like, people will forget, just like they forgot about using gold coins to transact. People will forget that, hey, you used to use paper money to be sending back and forth. Now we're on the blockchain. It's going to happen. And again, you look at Casper. Right now, everybody and their grandmama is crying about Casper. Price is not going here. This is not happening there. Blah, blah, blah is not going here. Again, when you start to look at it, stable coins go live. Every nation using this thing. What network does stablecoin work better? I'm pretty sure it's not Bitcoin, because we've seen it. Too slow, too expensive. I'm pretty sure it's not Ethereum. Too slow, not secure. It's a proof of stake. I'm pretty sure it's not the Crashilandia Solana. Too slow compared to Casper, not secure, proof of stake. Any network you bring, you tell me. But when you start to take Casper into consideration, right now we are still at 10 blocks. We are still at 10 blocks per second, and it's shutting down exchanges, because according to them, the reason why they are not listing Casper is because it's too fast to handle, and it's still at 10 blocks per second. See? Imagine when DAC comes in, 100 blocks per second, and that's what everybody and their grandmama's been talking about. Like, listen, we don't want to use the Swift system. It's too slow. There's too many here, blah, blah, blah. To all those excuses they can give. Casper is instant. Casper is something that is going to be, you remember a couple of months ago, they told us, like, listen, we are working in a collaboration, Tangent Pay and Visa, because they want to use Casper. You go to your store, if you have stable coins in your Tangent, you can just go and swipe and pay for your stuff. That's what they want to do. You don't want to keep your money in the bank. That's okay. You just keep it in your wallet or whatever, swipe, and there you go. Those things are coming. And that's why I'm telling you, generational wealth is for those who can spot these trends before the general public does. Instead of sitting here right now crying about the price is not moving, crying about, oh, there was a dip. Okay, there was a dip. Those are things that you and I, we cannot control. Somebody that has a lot of money, guess what? He crashed the market and then brought it back up. It is something that you and I, we cannot control. I am pretty sure if you could do the same, you would have done it. Shit, I would have. Yeah, I would have done it. If I could move Bitcoin from 125,000 all the way back down to 103 or 101, wherever it went, and then buy it back from there to move it back up, I would do the same. That's how the world works. In the world, either you are the hunter or you are the hunted. You cannot be both. So the big money, they are the hunters. They see it, they do it. They see it, they do it. It's okay. All we can hope to do is, hey, work your way up there so that you can also be able to do it, or at least be in the middle. So yeah, generational wealth is right in front of you. The US government is changing. Their approach of doing things are changing. They are now kind of adopting what China and other governments they've been doing all these years, because they have found out, guys, we cannot compete on the global table just because we got better guns or because we got better stones. No, it has to produce. These trade wars, we have to have, go on the table. You know what? You selling your rice in my country, I'm going to sell my rice in your country. You get it? Now it's up to the citizens of your country to say, hey, I want to eat American rice, or I want to eat my Chinese rice. The same thing goes here. You can see this right now happening, is that everybody complaining, oh, trade wars. Nah, they are not taking that chance away from you. They are telling you, for example, I just came from China. Trust me, it was so hard for me to find a Ford, an F-150 truck. So hard. It's not that they are not there. They are there. But it's a situation in which they tell them, you know what? You want to drive a Ford, that's fine. But know this, a Ford will cost you 5 times what whatever they call their trucks cost. The same situation they are introducing in the US right now. You want to drive a Chinese car, guess what? It's going to cost you 5 times what a Ford costs you. And then you decide if you want to drive it, you do. The same, not just Chinese, Bentley. For me, my dream car is a Bentley. And it's going to be up to me, okay? If I go to that dealership, I want to drive a Bentley, it's going to cost me what? $300,000. But if I look at the Ford Mustang Super Cobra, okay, it's going to cost me $110,000, $115,000. It's up to me to choose. You understand? That's what the trade wars are. And the more people start buying the Ford Mustang, the more Ford Mustang will be produced, the more the parts needed to continue running these Ford Mustangs will be made, the more mechanic will be needed. Before you know it, the workforce starts picking up. That's what's happening. So yeah, generational wealth is in front of you and me. Like I said, these stocks that the government is started to look at, you can go look at them. See, do you want to get into them right now before it gets too late? Or you start look at these cryptos, Quant, Casper, Jasmine. You can look at those things. Right now, the price is doing as bad as possible. Everybody and their grandmama is busy crying about it. But again, we have always said it here. Now is the time that millionaires are made. If you start buying these coins right now, when there is blood in the street and everybody's running, there is fire on the mountain, yeah, my God, this and that, you start getting in there. Wait a minute. Once that thing reverses, which is no longer far from here, we are in the last runs of the bull run. I've been telling you guys this because when you look at the gold is basically vertical up. That chart, the chart is not even doing this. It's basically like this. And we all know, if you've been watching chart, not just gold, anyone, if you're watching any kind of chart, any asset, once we do this, it means it's about to, like, you throw a stone up, yeah, down. Like they say, you don't spit upwards, you spit on the side, because when you spit upwards, guess what? It comes right back down, right? That is what gold is doing right now. Gold is pushing, it's vertical like this. Push, 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 push. Let's see how hard can it push, and then down. And by the time it starts to come down, we already know Bitcoin follows. And once Bitcoin follows, we already know what happens. Because again, everybody and their grandmama don't listen when I tell you money is not going to trickle down. It's not going to do that. We've seen it here time after time. Bitcoin pumps, altcoins pump with it. Bitcoin drops, altcoins drop with it. We've seen it. So yeah, you can watch the generational wealth go by your eyes, or you can do something about it. But one thing for sure is that crying is not going to help your case. Crying is not going to help your case. You see people who get into Casper because they were chasing price action and did not do their homework. Okay? I know that because I was one time in my life, I was a green candle chaser. Trust me, I was in it. Until you get mature and you start to understand, like, okay, this doesn't work like this. This works like this. Okay, this is what I need to do. This is not what I need to do. When you start to learning those things, you will start making better decisions. Okay? So those of them crying right now, oh yeah, it's not moving, it's not doing that, because guess what? They saw Casper at 15 cents and decided to go all in. What they did not understand is that, first of all, ecosystem wasn't there. Okay? Speed wasn't there. They didn't have basically anything. If they had figured out, like, listen, Casper is still building, because Casper right now prioritizes, the priority is building. Priority is having a strong and robust ecosystem. That's what they're doing right now. If you're getting into Casper right now, you will understand the price action. At the moment, I don't care about it. Myself, I don't. Because again, we do have 3 stages of smart contracts. The first one just got implemented, which was Casplex. Lab is next, then Sparkle. As those things get implemented, the ecosystem also grows. Go look at the TVL. TVL has started to grow. Okay, you saw it? Go look at it. Look at the number of nodes around the world. They have also started to grow. So yeah, we are getting there. Unless you are chasing green candle, that's why you're expecting this to go from 5 cents to $1 in 24 hours. Which again, my friend, I don't even think in Wonderland that kind of thing can happen. But if you know what you hold, which again, I don't care what the price does. I keep accumulating and buying Casper. I keep accumulating and buying Quant and stuff like that, because I know sooner than later, I am going to be the one laughing. And it's going to happen. Generational wealth. Like I said, for you to be rich, you have to do the opposite of what 99.9% are doing. Because again, I don't know about you. I'm not looking for money just for myself. I'm looking money for me, my children, and everybody that comes behind me. I've said it here many times. I did not come from a millionaire family, but I will be damned if a millionaire family does not come from me. I got at least 1 or 2, 3 of how many? A millionaire family has to come from me, one way or another, and that is my legacy. Okay, so yeah, you can sit there and cry about it, or you can look in front of you and see what is really going on. Generational wealth is taking place as we speak. That money is getting transferred from one hand to another hand. The question is your hand included? Are you taking the opportunity to grab that wealth, or are you in that corner crying about whoever that happened yesterday? Because again, as far as I know, we usually say it, there is no need to cry for spilled milk. It's gone, right? You need to make your moves right now. You need to make that move. Don't wait. You need to make that move. Go consult your financial advisor. Use your common sense. I don't know how you're going to do it, but do not wait. Don't get left behind, because if you do, 2026 is the last time you are going to have this kind of opportunity. And if you wait to get into it by 2026, yeah, you might get some of it, but I don't think you're going to get it all. You're going to be like people like me. When I first knew about Bitcoin, I didn't do anything, and I came back a couple years later, get into it at $3,000. Some people still saying, yeah, that was cheap. But do you know how I feel? Knowing that I would have got Bitcoin at $1. Do you know how I feel? The same thing right now. Casper is 5 cents. People are crying. By 2026, you are going to see that thing at $5. Then you want to get in, right? Okay, well, you're about to see. I'm just telling you, generational wealth is happening right in front of your eyes, and please do not let that chance go by. Because if you do, you think my laughing is annoying? I'm going to laugh even harder. You will see. Excuse me. Anyway, let's go right quick. Let's go look at the market. Let's see how the market has been performing for the past 24 hours. To do that, I need my good friend Crypto Bubbles, which is this guy right here. As you guys can see, right? I told you, money is not going to trickle down. Macroeconomy is having their own problems right now. Trumpicius is busy throwing stones, sending some good stones to Zelenskycius, and Zelenskycius is looking at Putinicius like, yeah, I'm about to get my stones. Get ready for me, player. So, yeah, now you see, and you look at it, that thing is so funny to me, man, because like it's like a four-way fight, right? Trumpicius look at Zelenskycius like, brother, do you need the little stones or do you need the big one? You know what? I'm gonna send you the big stones. And Zelenskycius is looking at Putinicius going, yo, that glass house you got over there. You know, I have thrown stones at that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you know what? That big glass house at the other side of the hill. Let me see if I can have a stone that can go over the hill and smash that one too. How about that? And Putinicius is looking at Trumpicius like, you son of a bitch. And in the meantime, you have a Zizing Picius on the other side of the wall looking at Trumpicius like, you know what? You and I have some issues to settle. So that salad that you are eating, you know what? I'm not going to send you my best dressings for that. If you want my best dressing, now let's hold off to that. And Trumpicius looking at Zizing Picius be like, hey, that is not what we talked about. I need that dressings. So everything is just left, right, up, down. Everybody doing their own thing. And at the end of the day, who suffers is you and me, because macroeconomy now takes a shit. And that shit, when it happens, it dumps on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin looks at it, be like, you know what, that's it. Grabs a wrench and throws at the engines of every altcoins. And that's exactly what you're looking at right now. So those of you telling you money is going to trickle down. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you're about to see it. I told you guys about this COAI, man. I'm staying away from it because normally this smells like a rock pool for me, so I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm not gonna look at it. Anyways, now this is for the past hour we saw it go in the market looking nice. Yeah, that's what we saw, because Bitcoin tried to make a move. And you see for the past hour, look at the COAI. What do you see? I told you, stay away from this kind of stuff. Okay. Anyways, now let's go look at the market. Let's see what the market has been doing. First, we're going to start with the king, KAS. For the past hour, Bitcoin been doing its thing. Now you can see the same thing translated to Casper, which is 2.2% up, 4.2% down on the day, 24.6% down on the week, 35.4% down on the month, and 58.8% down on the year, sitting at a market cap of $1.48 billion and a 24 hours volume traded at $75.57 million. Wow, that's a lot of volume. Well, now let's go look at QNT, the banker's coin, and the coin a lot of people love to hate, just like Bitcoin is doing. Okay, look at that. For the past hour, we are up 0.4%, 1% down on the day, 13.8% down on the week, 14% down on the month, and 29.7% up on the year, sitting at the market cap of $1.26 billion and a 24 hours volume traded at $22.73 million. Now we look at Cubic, high risk, high reward. Let's see. We are up 1.9% on the day, on the last hour, 6.9% down on the day, 8.4% down on the week, 29.5% down on the month, and 8.9% down on the year, sitting at a market cap of $189.31 million and a 24 hours volume traded at $4.42 million. Okay, now we look at Jasmine, the Japanese Bitcoin, JAS, and we have here 1.4% up the last hour. Okay, like again, you can just go look at Bitcoin, you will see it's doing the same. So, and again, 2.2% down on the day, 17.7% down on the week, 29.1% down on the month, and 49.3% down on the year, sitting at the market cap of $492.56 million and a 24 hours volume traded at $35.51 million. Okay, now we look at the last but not the least, Jonathan Pet Turtle, the orange guy, Bitcoin. What do we have for the past hour? You see, like I told you, money is not going to trickle down. Bitcoin goes up, all coins go up. Look at that. For the past hour, Bitcoin started to pick up. Every altcoin we've looked at on the past hour, they are also picking up. On the day, they are red. Bitcoin is also red. So yeah, oh my God. Well, anyways, for the past hour, 0.1% up, 2.1% down on the day, 10% down on the week, 6.8% down on the month, 62% up on the year, sitting at the market cap of $2.16 trillion and a 24 hours volume traded at $79.52 billion. So yeah, you can see it yourself. There is no need for rocket science. It's there, right in front of you. Money is not gonna trickle down. And as long as Bitcoin is still doing this, just again, TA is not gonna help you. If you want to trade, okay, which I don't recommend, but if you want to do that, make sure you scale down your positions, because if you don't, you can have this kind of candle like it did and then wipe you out. Okay, but one thing you can also see is that for Casper, if Casper goes above 6.6 or close to 7 cents, there is almost $30 million in short liquidations. So if you are shorting Casper, you better be careful, okay, because it's a lot of pain waiting at that corner, because we don't know what Bitcoin is about to do. Indication shows that Bitcoin is like kind of brewing up. Something is about to happen. We might see it jump all the way back up to 125,000 again. And if that does, if that happens, you're about to see Casper go back to probably 8-9 cents. And when that does, when that happens, those of you short in the market, you're gonna get hurt. So yeah, please be careful. Okay. Now let's go look at prices in details. Okay, like I said, even though there's no point, okay? There's no point of doing TA. I just like to look at it because right now Bitcoin is doing its thing and there's no way anything else will happen. Do you notice something? As Bitcoin has been dropping, everything has been dropping, the Dixie is maintaining the 98 points. That's something strange that I've been looking at. Instead of 96 or 95 like it did in the past, it's been holding the 98 points. But anyways, now, Dixie's down, Bitcoin down. Yeah, we don't want to see it. We want an inverse correlation. That's what we're looking at. Anyways, now let's go look at charts right quick. As we see here, this is Casper on the last hour, and we are almost still doing the same thing. Okay, we haven't been able to break above the ribbon yet. We haven't been able to do that. So again, for me, yeah, it's a matter of time. Oh, come on. Let's drop this here. It's a matter of time, because we've seen it here many times. We've always seen the price get attracted to the moving average. That's something that we're waiting for. And I know it's not going to take a while for it to happen. If I zoom out, again, look at the ribbon, almost like going sideways. That's what is happening here. So it's indecision in the market. People don't know what to do. The amount of selling, amount of buying, people don't know how to handle this situation right now. For me, yeah, just sit tight and monitor the market, scale up my trades, and look at what's going on over there. Okay, if you look at it on the 4-hourly, again, TA is not going to help. On the 4-hourly, you still see the same. See, ribbon is still pointing downwards slightly. It is spraying out. So yeah, nothing has changed. We're still just like we left yesterday, because Bitcoin is doing its thing. For me, like I said, I think, let's go here. What I think again is price is going to go try to look for the moving average. Okay, you're going to see this. This was a resistance, probably test it, come down and break above it, and keep on going. All that will depend on what Bitcoin does. Like again, Bitcoin right now is gearing up. Bitcoin is gearing up to that 125,000, because the top, for me, we will see. But I still believe that Bitcoin is heading to that 160,000, and then the market, the bull run will be over with. But hey, let's watch and see, right? Let's watch and see. If you look at it on the daily, let's see. Come on, look at it on the daily. Let's see. See, there's another one that always convinces me, like, yeah, this price action is gonna take off, because when you start to look closer, it is funny how the price went all the way down, and look at where the moving average is. That is really, really strange. Okay, normally when you have this kind of waterfall like this, you normally see a V-shaped recovery. That's what you normally see. So that's another thing that keeps me like, you know what, I don't think this price action was going to stay like this, or go even all the way back down to 1 cent where it was again. I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, yeah, I have my money ready on that one. I already have some limit orders set up. I already have some limit orders set up if it happens again. Anyways, yeah, for me, the price target is still the same. Nothing has changed. I believe, first of all, we are going to have our 12 cents, which is a major resistance, 12 cents. Then we have 15 cents. After that, we have 18 and 19 cents. Conquering that will lead us to be onto the all-time high, which was 20 cents, and then into price discovery. So I'm sitting tight. You know, that's all I can do. You can't do much right now, because macroeconomy is doing the whatever they're doing, and you and I don't have control over that. Okay, now let's go look at quant right quick. QNT. Let's see, where is QNT? Right here. Okay, same like Casper, same. Quant is just going sideways. Okay, quant is going sideways, because like I said, we are waiting to see what Bitcoin is going to do. That's why I said there's no point of doing TA on it. But you know what, I am an addict. I like to look at it. I like to look at it from time to time, just to make sure that everything is still where I left it. Okay, quant is doing the same. If you want to consider this as a pole, okay, and you can see this is a flag going on. I don't want to consider this as a bull flag, because that wick came down so fast, it wasn't organic. Okay, that's why I'm not looking at it that way. But one thing for sure for quant, as you guys can see if I zoom out, is that yeah, there is a bigger let me go on the daily. That would be better. There is a bigger pole, which again, people say, yeah, it has been invalidated because this wick came all the way down and passed through that. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. I think right now, this bull flag right here, this is the one that is still in effect. That's what I think is still in effect. So I'm expecting this price to go right back where it was, use that, and up it went. So yeah, right now, just sit tight. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to do its thing. So if you zoom it in, you'll see ribbon curved, and it's doing sideways. There's nothing you can do about this other than sit tight, because Bitcoin on its turn is looking at macroeconomy to see what Trump issues is going to say or do, and from there they will react. So yeah, everything is moving according to plan. We still have the price targets. Nothing hasn't changed, okay? $125, that's the first price target. After that, 151, then 164. If we can go above 176 and close a daily candle, we'll be looking for $230. Above that, we do have the all-time high before we get into price discovery. So yeah, for me, I'm sitting tight. There's nothing I can do about what's going on in the market. So yeah, there's no point of crying about it other than just sitting tight and watch for the market. Okay, now let's go look at Bitcoin right quick. What is Bitcoin? Right here, let's see. This is what's happening with Bitcoin, because the same thing. Let me try to zoom out. Let me go on the 4 hours. The 4 hours better. See, that's what's happening to Bitcoin. Rebound is still facing down. And again, I see a lot of guys that say, okay, when we came back and retested the moving average, this is going to continue dropping. I don't think so. I don't think so, guys. I don't. Because first of all, if you look at the ribbon, see this ribbon? It's praying out. It is praying out. Normally, what usually happens is that when the ribbon sprays out, it's going to curve. Then this one is going to do this. And then they converge, turn green, and up we went. So yeah, I don't think this is going to continue going down. Like some people are already calling $80,000 already. People are already doing that. But you forget one thing. When everybody starts to short an asset, these bastards we call market makers, they usually reverse it and wipe everybody out. The same thing that happened here. This week right here is as a result of people overlonging Bitcoin, because once they saw this happening, everybody like, yeah, it's go time. Okay, it fooled everybody, even myself. Like as you can see, I had a red column right here, because for me, I thought once the price comes to this red, it's gonna do this, and then up we went. That's what I thought. That's all every indicator was saying. But instead, Bitcoin came to the red line and went up. Okay, it went up. So yeah, I think that right there fooled everybody. I should have just stayed with my conviction. But you know what? Everybody has a little time of weakness. I was weak right there because I saw the price going up and I was like, yeah, it's gonna go up now. If you remember my last videos, I was telling you the 29th, September 29th, something is going to happen, and I have a red line right there. So that was what I was calling for. But yeah, it fooled me and it happened. When did it happen? When did it happen? When was this? Yeah, on the 10th. Yeah, 10 days, almost 11 days difference. But oh well, it is what it is. We can't cry about it. For me right now, like I'm saying, I believe Bitcoin is going to look for that 160,000, 150, 160,000. Okay, and that's what it's gearing up for. It is up to you, right? You want to sit there and cry about it, or do you want to take the opportunity? It's up to you. Anyways, let's go look at my positions right quick. But before we do that, please do not get into leverage trading if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, down below I do have the links: Bydfi, Phemex, Margex, and Wix exchange. Follow those links, sign up, and meet their deposit requirements. Once you do, they are going to give you free money. Please, you get the free money, start to practice. Take $20 out or $50. Let's just say 50. Okay? If you can turn that 50 into 100, the next 100 into 200, 200 into 400, if you can do that trading, then you are ready. If you cannot do it, keep on practicing, because if you don't practice, my friend, you are going to end up losing all your money. It's that simple. Very simple. You saw what happened last time? It happens to even experienced traders like me. If you're using big amount of money that you are not, like you don't care about whether you lose it or not, then you'll be in a hard spot. I lost money, yeah, but yeah, that's money that I was willing to lose. That's the difference between me and you. Okay? So yeah, please, you need to practice first. You need to do. Those kind of effects that happen don't happen often. Okay, so yeah, be careful with that. And if you want to learn how to trade stocks and ETFs, I even have a link below about Acorn. I'm using Acorn to teach my son. You guys already know that. My own trading, I'm using Robinhood to trade and other platforms. But Acorn is very easy to teach and learn about stock and ETF trading. So if you want to do that, follow that link. They are going to give you $5 bonus. It's not much, but it will get you started. Okay? If you don't do none of that, you don't practice, my friend, there's always room for one more in Rec City. Trust me, there is. Okay, anyways, now let's go look at my positions. Right now I only have 2 of them, and I plan to open another probably 4 or 5 more in the near future. But let's go look at those 2 that I have open. First is Bydfi, which there I am trading quant right now at the moment. Let's refresh this and see. Right now, my position is sitting at $6,900, as you guys can see. If you look at my contracts, again, you will notice I am an aggressive trader. I trade at 50x. I don't trade less than that, and I don't use stop losses. That's me. And you guys now know why I don't use stop losses. I hope that answered your questions, right? Anyways, yeah. Right now, I am still down 30%, which is $2,700 approximately. So yeah, let's watch and see what the market brings to us, because most people keep asking me, why do I keep that open? Like I said, you have to look at the price targets I gave you guys for quant, okay? Let's say, for example, first target, $125. By the time we hit there, this thing will make me $3,000 in profit, you see? The second target is 151, right? At 151, this thing will make me $7,500 in profits. See, that's what I'm telling you. Now, if we go to 176, which is the next target, this thing will make me $11,000 in profits. Then, next target is 230, right? 230, I will be $20,000 in profit. We look at the next one, which is $400, which is around all-time high. I will be up $47,000 in profit. Now, let's say, like I said, let's just watch the macroeconomy. Even if it doesn't hit that, for me, I think minimum, if quant does not do good this run, I think it's 1,200, thereabout. So even if it doesn't hit there, let's just say it goes up to $700, I will make $95,000 in profit. But if it hits it at 1,200, I will be making $174,000 in profit. So these are the numbers I'm looking at, okay? It's not about anything else. Now, let's go look at my second position, which is on Phemex, which is the Casper position that I opened when the market crashed. Right now, you can see I am up overall, sitting at $2,300 in the overall. If you look at the contract, you will see that here, let's go here. I am still up $553, which is 37% up. Okay, that's what it is right now. The same thing. I trade at 50x. I don't trade less than that, and I don't use stop loss. That's me. Okay. Now, if you look at it again, let's just say we go back to all-time high, which was 20 cents. At 20 cents, this position will make me $25,000. Let it sink in. $25,000 at 20 cents. Okay, now let's go 50 cents. This position will make me $76,000 at 50 cents. Let's go to $1. I will be racking in $160,000 at $1. Let's say most people say like Cardano, $3. I will be taking in home $500,000. Okay, $500,000 at $5. I will be there $839,000. I know, okay, most people don't believe it, but if we go to $10, I will be taking home $1.6 million. It's a matter of time. Again, it also depends if I'm going to keep this position open that long. But like I'm telling you, market, it does not wait for anybody. Things happen, and the market right now is just moving. All you have to do is manage your risk. If you can do it, great. If you cannot do it, stay away from it. It's that simple, right? Anyways, now let's go look at Acorn. My son, I'm teaching my son how to trade, right? So Acorn, I'm teaching him to trade stocks and ETFs. Overall today, yeah, he's up $336. Not bad. I like that. $336. And then if you look at the base investments that he has going on there, he's up today 1.89%. Not bad. And he on his stocks, VOO, which is a type of S&P 500. Okay, nice, 157. I don't know. I told him about these small company stocks like IJR. I showed him about it, but I don't know why. If it was for me, I would stay away from it. But he's spreading his portfolio, right? He's spreading his portfolio, and he wants to just keep it on, because like, yeah, he only own like 100. What do you own right now? 118. What? Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay, net contribution $10, total gains or loss. Yeah, that's what he wants to do. So the way I like to make him look at it, tell me the reason why he wants to be in there, and then we can correct the mistakes. Some of them is like this one, this IJR. It's like, yeah, let's wait, pops, let's wait that. You will see I was right. So yeah, let's let's just wait and see. On the bonds and ETFs, yeah, the same. Those are the one he listened to me, because we have the short term and then we have the aggregate bonds, which I'm trying to convince him to include long term. The long-term bonds, because hey, he's 9 years old. If he includes let's say 10 20 years old 20-year-old bonds, they are going to pay him more money. So by the time he's 25 30 years old, he should be able to make a lot of money out of it. But yeah, kids are going to always be kids. You cannot, some of them they're going to listen, some of them they are not going to listen. I would have like imposed it on him, but hey, I'm trying to make him make a mistake and learn from his mistakes. Like, it's a way of teaching him. I wouldn't like, it's not a good way to put it, but yeah, if he doesn't make mistakes, he would learn, right? And plus, anyway, you're only playing with $300, so that's fine. So anyways, thank you so much for watching my videos. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to make it to 5,000 subscribers, okay? Don't forget to like and comment. And also, guys, don't forget to share so that other millionaire-minded attitude like you and yours truly, we can see these videos and the family can grow. You never know what you're going to learn from a stranger, right? Until I see you in my next one, please don't let this generational wealth opportunity run past you. Don't let it happen, okay? Bye-bye.